On Wednesday night, Redkirk Warrior began his journey to England ahead of Royal Ascot. And to get some insight as to what is involved in travelling a horse to the other side of the world, we caught up with Lindsay Park travelling foreman Dara Omar, who is set to be Redkirk Warrior's right-hand man.
Wasn't his original rider, but I've been learning day by day, riding him and just getting to know him. He spent a little bit of time with him and learning a bit about him, and it's been good so far and building up a bit of a bank of knowledge. Yeah, he's quite a relaxed horse. He takes most things in his stride. He's well experienced and well travelled, so at this stage nothing seems to faze him, so hopefully that continues. Yeah, so he'll get 4 boots on his 4 legs just to protect them during the flight, and get his feet taped just to stop any of his shoes moving. Then we'll get to float out to the airport and load up onto the plane, load into the container and then onwards towards the plane. Once we get in there, it's just a matter of getting him settled, and usually the hardest part is getting them loaded up onto the plane. They can be a bit fractious, but generally when they're in there, they're nice and relaxed, and after takeoff we'll go back and check on him again and offer him a drink and something to eat, and hopefully he'll tuck into that, and that'll be him set for the flight then. Probably from the time he's loaded into the container and then going across the tarmac up onto the plane could be anywhere between half an hour and an hour, so that's probably the most nerve-wracking period for us and the horse. It's obviously quite loud around the engines, and the airport itself is pretty busy, but once we get over that period and we're in the plane, hopefully it's smooth sailing. 9 times out of 10, once you're up in the air, they're pretty switched off, and they do eat and drink, but obviously that's very important, keeping the fluids up to them and keeping them hydrated, and just keeping them happy throughout the flight, really.
You did travel boom time to Japan. You were travelling foreman, you were on the plane with him. Tell us a little bit about that experience from your perspective.
Yeah, that was my first trip on a plane with a horse, and it was quite an eye-opener. I learned quite a bit. Wasn't really sure what to expect when I was doing it, but I learned as I went on, and through with the help of the grooms from IRT, who were massive help, we kind of learned the ropes pretty quickly, and flew to Dubai as well early in the year with horses. So this will be actually my 4th trip with the horses. So hopefully I know a little bit more about the whole system this time, and things will run nice and smoothly.
You have been based at Newmarket before?
Yeah, I spent about 6 weeks there a few years ago. I did quarantine and brought a horse back here for David, and so I have a feel for the town and for the gallops and the general area, so hopefully that will be beneficial when we get there. Are
you looking forward to the whole experience and also Royal Ascot itself?
Yeah, I really am. It's the pinnacle of flat racing. It's the most prestigious carnival in the world. I've often been asked have I ever been there, just in conversation, and the answer has always been no. So to think that I'm going there, looking after a horse that's 2nd or 3rd favourite, it's a real treat.